It's fine.
Everything.
It's all fine. I'm okay. You're okay. We're all okay. I don't know why you're trying to set levels off of this, because this is a normal voice.
Not a normal voice.
No.
Okay.
But this, though, this you could probably set levels off of.
Yes, I could.
Yeah. I notice you haven't moved.
No, because it's actually looking pretty good.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, but actually all right, not in a sarcastic way.
Yes. And breathe. No, not you, Earth.
Yeah, no, the outdoors is doing plenty enough breathing for all of us.
Yeah, my goodness. Another windy podcast. Right, let's do this. No, not you, Earth.
Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
Went for a walk yesterday, still sort of trying to work out these new shoes.
Uh-huh.
And I think possibly in a better place after having that walk than before it.
Good.
I got almost all the way up this hill and I was like, no, sod this, I'm waiting for the bus. And then I waited for the bus and an out-of-service bus went by, which I assume was supposed to replace another bus that was clocking off up the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scheduled arrival time goes by, and then 3 more minutes go by. I'm like, this doesn't seem ideal, and there's nothing coming up on the tracker either.
No.
So I start walking, and it's not 30 seconds that go by until the bus goes by.
Oh, dear.
And so it turned out that yes, I could in fact ascend the hill. I just needed some brakes and possibly more water than was still left in my bottle, which by the time I got to the really bad bit was none water.
None water. I go to big water.
Yeah. Today was the first public hearing of the Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters.
Uh-huh.
A big bumper hearing. And the AEC took an hour and a half, and then everyone went to lunch.
Well, that was selfish of them. I mean, what have they got to do with it? Wow.
And then there were, a couple of think tanks, a couple of academics, and a former MP.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
No.
Which former?
Bob McMullen.
Ah, Bobby. The Bobster. Roberto.
One of the few people who has both been a senator and an MP.
Uh-huh.
Jokingly, he said that he was in government as a senator and then in opposition as a House of Representatives member, which is not the direction that you want to go, really.
No, not really.
You want to oppose from the Senate,
yeah,
where you actually have a good chance of opposing.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, a lot of talk about donations reform and expanding the parliament.
A lot of talk, but...
And term lengths, which I don't think will go anywhere.
No.
Everyone on the committee seems, pretty gung-ho about fixing term limits, but even that, sticking with 3 years, but fixing that is going to be a constitutional headache.
Yeah.
Because the Constitution says the Governor-General can just do whatever, whenever. So, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I got into the stream late, so, watching it a 1.5 times speed to catch up.
Right.
And then I caught up in the middle of lunch.
Did you bow as you entered the stream?
No.
Oh.
No, nobody bowed. Neither the Speaker nor the President of the Senate were in the room.
But you were in the room where it happened.
No.
The room where it happened.
No, I was in the room where I was watching it.
Okay. You were
Which
in
was
the room
actually
where
several
the stream
rooms.
was playing where it happened.
Yeah.
Good. Don't think that fits.
And there will be more of that over the coming weeks and months. And hopefully I will actually submit something. And, write something to submit. Because I keep saying that's what's going to happen.
Yep. Hey, I've got a really catchy way of finishing it.
What's that then?
The end. Yeah, I've seen it done. Yeah. All the good authors do it.
I don't particularly intend to stray into the realms of fiction.
Oh, dear.
I intend to present ideas that are plausible and workable.
Right.
And won't require a constitutional referendum.
Uh-huh. Oh, I could do with one of those. That'd be fun. I haven't had one of those in a while.
Oh, and today, the playmat that I was owed as a reward for backing Loading Ready Run's Friday Night's Kickstarter arrived today, about 1.5 years behind schedule, but...
It arrived.
Things were more complicated than they appeared at first glance, and then became even more complicated as that 1.5 years went on.
Yeah.
And frankly, I wondered that it has actually got to me now and not later.
I was just checking on my Kickstarter donations, and other than ones that aren't still running, as in still acquiring people to donate. And yeah, I've got one that I've completely written off as never going to happen, and one that every 6 or 7 months or so pops their head up and says, yeah, things are slowly progressing.
Now, is the one that you've completely written off the one that I would be aware of?
No. In
okay.
fact, the one that you would be aware of is, I've pretty much given up on that. I checked today as to how long ago the last update was, and it was February, I think. So
trying to make audio drama.
Yeah.
Just before the pandemic.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, that arrived, and there is now the smell of fresh neoprene in my room.
Excellent.
Which, hey, it could have been worse. I could have asked for a signed one, which would have cost more money, which is why I didn't.
Yeah.
Because the signed ones are all still in Canada, where there is currently a postal strike.
Excellent. It strikes me, presumably someone who's going to pay up the money for a signed one is then left with the dilemma of, well, I paid extra to have it signed. If I actually use it, all of those signed sections are going to get all marked, and it's a dilemma. What do you do? So you probably chose wisely, Thomas. Not getting one that's an object by its very nature gets scuffed and faded and what have you. It isn't the ideal thing to get signed.
And mine probably will, sitting as it will on my desk underneath a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Because I don't really go anywhere that requires a playmat. Not in some years, anyway.
No.
I think, no, it would only have moved once in the intervening time. How's your week been?
My week has been filled with walks and wind and windy walks. Mm-hmm. Today was a bit weird. I went to see my therapist, and it was windy going over the bridge. And I'd pretty much convinced myself that nobody in their right mind would actually be riding across the bridge in wind like this. And that was certainly the case 2 days before when it was windy and I walked across the bridge. Didn't have a single bike happen there. But even today, I sort of regularly turned around just to make sure there wasn't a bike coming up behind me. But still, one caught me by surprise. And I keep my headphones in, but when I'm going over the bridge, I don't listen to anything.
No. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible, but the reason I leave them in is just to reduce the amount of wind blowing into my ears. But I suddenly get, excuse me, right behind me, and it was a bike. Frustrations galore with one of our children who had planned to do a course next year that is now looking like the government is scrapping. So state government is playing all sorts of nasty tricks so that they can fulfill their, we're not going to increase taxes, but we've got to pay for this white elephant of stadium. So instead of not increasing taxes to pay for this white elephant of stadium.
We've got to reduce services. Yeah.
It stinks. Anyway, so I'm going to a rally tomorrow and voicing my indignation, and I too have to write something to express my indignation to my local members and also to the Bright Spark, who has on the government webpage saying he's keen to see Tasmanians educate themselves. And
meanwhile, we have been frantically enrolling every possible device we can in Windows 10 extended security updates, including possibly the least functional laptop in the house.
I think it's, again, stuck at 96%.
I believe currently 44 hours into that campaign.
And I don't think it will. I think it'll just turn up its toes like it has at the same spot every single time. It was very much a knee-jerk purchase in a time and situation where we desperately needed something with basic functions, and it was certainly that. I don't understand how, with the specs that it got, it did pass the Windows 10 requirements, but anyway, so I don't think that's going to upgrade. I might use it as a bit of a plaything for checking out Linux,
right?
Maybe, if I can be bothered.
Yeah. The
battery is completely dead in it, so it needs to be plugged in constantly, but anyway. Fun and games.
Yeah.
But everything that will run Windows 10 or is running Windows 10 and can't be updated to Windows 11 has had the life extended for another year as far as security patches.
So many cans up the road.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Well, it's very much a situation where I cannot... It's not even a case of cannot justify. It's why would I bother? The machine that I use is doing exactly what I need it to do quite happily. So, anyway, we digress.
We do.
We should get into this movie because it's a long one.
Yep.
And what are we watching this week?
We are watching Furious 7.
Oh, not another one.
Yes, another one.
And it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long?
Yeah.
Blow that for a joke. I think we'll just watch double speed. Okay. Please tell our dear listener.
Got to bring the fast somehow.
Yeah. Are you going to regurgitate previously
I do have something to regurgitate because it continues to be of some relevance. Okay. Given that things keep coming up that you turn out not to have remembered.
My eyes are glazing over as it is.
You wouldn't believe it, but somehow these films have continuity.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Please tell our dear listener, catch up our dear listener in the world of the furiously fast car people.
Previously on Speedy Angry People, in exchange for pardons, Dom and his crew join Luke Hobbs to take down a mercenary crew led by Owen Shaw, who are attempting to put together an EMP weapon and sell it on the black market. Dom's ex-girlfriend, Letty, previously assumed dead in a car crash killing, survived, forgot everything, and joined Owen's crew.
Oh, that's a different one to what you read last week, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. No, this is a catch-up.
Yeah.
So we've seen this.
Yes.
Is what you've just
These
read.
are things that we have seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Seeking out the final component, Owen hijacks a tank, and Dom saves Letty from falling when the tank flips on a highway bridge.
I remember the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen's crew is captured, but a colleague of Hobbs betrays him, and elsewhere, Brian's wife and child are kidnapped, forcing Dom's crew to let Owen's go with the components. On the world's longest runway, fighting results in the destruction of Owen's cargo plane, the deaths of much of his crew, and the apparent death of Gazelle, and puts Owen in a coma. Later in Japan, Han is apparently killed when a mysterious driver T-bones him in the middle of a car chase.
Dun, dun, dun.
And now the continuation.
Yes.
The mysterious driver is Owen's brother Deckard Shaw, who is looking for revenge against Dom's crew. At the same time, a mysterious covert operation recruits the crew, Letty included, to take down a terrorist who wants control of mass surveillance program God's Eye.
Right. Good. You got all that, people?
Yeah.
Good.
Did you get all that?
No,
No.
I'm completely clueless.
Great.
I kept on hearing all these names and I'm thinking, Giselle? Or was that Gazelle?
Giselle? Possibly Giselle. Yeah.
Right. Whoever that is.
This is the last film to feature Paul Walker as Brian. Died in a car crash partway through filming. Not related to filming.
No.
Just in a fast car that swiftly became not fast.
Yeah. It was all messy. And in many ways, including trying to finish this film.
And then, Porsche were sued for selling such a fast car, ignoring the fact that it was being driven fast.
Yes. Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to watch it.
Yeah.
On a streaming service of Thomas's choice.
Still Stan.
And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. So we shall catch you on the flip, 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 crash, 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 crash side.
Turn to side B to side A to side B to side A to side B to side A to side B.
Oh, well played, you mongrel. So, I forgot to mention in the section where we were talking about what have we been up to, that the big blister on my left big toe never popped, but yesterday finally dried up enough that it started to just peel off.
Oh, yeah.
And the skin underneath was fine, like it wasn't raw or anything like that. So...
No.
Yeah.
Mine on the little toe, much the same way.
Yeah.
As was the one under it.
It was pretty good. That's what I was worried about with my walk today, was that it would still be new enough skin that would blister easily, but no, it did all right. Anyway, so what did you think?
So the previous film was marketed as Fast and Furious 6, but titled in the film as Furious 6. Whereas this one was marketed as Furious 7, but titled in the film as Fast and Furious 7.
I don't understand. But that's not answering the question, though. What did you think?
We are getting to the point where it's very silly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I certainly found that its silliness outstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
It just became 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, overstepped its mark
Yeah.
dozen times.
Yeah.
Beyond the point where I suspended disbelief, and that suspension, all the ropes broke.
I think a few films ago I told you this was a heist series now. I'm sorry, I'd like to correct the record. It's a spy series now.
Well, I wrote, it was also a man from snowy Jurassic Italian job. So you've got the Man from Snowy River scene where they're riding really steeply down the hill.
Yeah.
And you've got the crossover Italian job, Jurassic Park, where you've got a vehicle off the edge and running up through the middle of it. Or, well, that didn't happen in the Italian job, but you certainly had the bus hanging off the... So, yeah, and the spies and the international espionage and...
I mean, we've got an unpunchable man. Every film needs an unpunchable man.
Oh, my goodness. It was just...
We've got multiple unpunchable men.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. I was just thinking through. There's certainly a main bad unpunchable man who's being punched by a unpunchable man who
has a henchman who's also an unpunchable.
Yeah. I thought that it was finishing up before they went back to the US. Mm-hmm. I thought, right, it's going to end there, and it's basically leading up into the next film. And then my brain was going, has there been enough happen in this film? And I thought, yeah, I think so.
No, we need an additional set piece.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know that set piece? We need another one after that, too.
Yeah, and we need to raise the stakes, pull out all the stops and just... Yeah.
You there, collapse that big tower.
Yeah, you there, collapse the car park. And you there, create a drone that's carrying huge amounts of ammunition and missiles, like the gun with the infinite bullets type of deal.
Yeah.
It really...
But then, when Hobbs has the gun, it doesn't have infinite bullets anymore.
But it has just enough for him to be able to see through a bag from a distance that's hanging off a helicopter, see through it to see that there's hand grenades in it.
That was a separate handgun that he already had on him.
Oh, yes, that was... Yes, but he could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that maybe there was the subtle bulge shapes of those particular hand grenades. Anyway, yes. So, and in the midst of all that, well, to go back to the very beginning, in fact, when they're showing actor names in it, Kurt Russell springs up.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that Kurt Russell was in there.
Yeah.
Until he wasn't. Did he appear again after the helicopter off in the distance?
Got medevaced and that was that.
Yeah. See, I thought that would be... I don't know. Anyway.
I can say...
Yes.
He will be back.
I figured that... I certainly didn't think that he'd been killed off. There was a brief moment where I thought there would be a kaboomy in the rearview mirror of the helicopter.
We're doing spy movies now. We need a spy master.
Well, that's right. But even early on, when you're parachuting in cars and they all manage to land on the road eventually.
Brian's in a Subaru with the Continental Tires logo across the front, and obviously that's going to be product placement, right? Yeah. But what are Continental Tires supposed to do for a car falling out of a plane?
Oh dear. Oh, and then into formation, and they all sort of
that's not what a road train is.
And then you've got the switcheroo underneath in the tunnel where the cars spin. There's so many of the case of everybody needs to be in exactly the right place at the right time, heading in exactly the correct direction for this to happen, and having not practiced it at all, in quote marks, including the situation with the ambulance managing to taking out the drone.
Great timing.
Yeah,
Great,
impeccable.
Great timing.
Thomas, I did have bits of fun with this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it had worn off by probably at least the last half hour. There were still grins, but through gritted teeth, and I just wanted it to sort of be over.
Well, unfortunately, things will continue to not be over until at least past Christmas.
No, and that's all right. We are committed to this.
Yeah.
But from recollection, even though recollection would not let me remember what actually happened in the last movie, I seem to recall that I was vaguely positive. I'm very neutral with this one, even though, they had raised the stakes and there seemed to have been a lot more money poured into it. And but there are just a couple too many acts and really dumb acts. Now, whether that has anything to do with the fact that one of the main actors died during the filming, and so they had to make detours and reconstruct and compensate for that, I don't know. But if that was the case, they way overcompensated it. And
I do have some more notes.
yeah, cool. I think I'm done with mine. But
So we're in Abu Dhabi, which is a whole problem in and of itself. But we're in Abu Dhabi. But we're in Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
And we're in sort of the backstage of this tower. And it's like the director of photography discovered Dutch angles that day. And we're just going to do Dutch angles in this area.
Yeah. I think what happened was that the cinematographer was actually trying to put in like a couple more flips, entire 360-degree flips of the camera to follow action, but it got jammed into a position of Dutch angle, and that they couldn't shift it out. So, okay, we'll run with the camera positioned like this. So,
in order to perform a security override, all you need to do is cut the orange wire on an Ethernet cable that nothing is connected to.
Yeah. However, if you're going to do it over the air, you have to do it within 2 miles of whatever it... Yeah.
When they jumped between 2 buildings, and I knew that there was a third, I knew that they would also have to jump between the second and the third.
They certainly made it quite obvious that there are 3 buildings, and that will have to continue.
Haven't any of these people ever seen Sneakers? We're just gonna give the power of mass surveillance to this random shady Black Ops guy. Like, okay, says he works for the American government.
Yeah.
Probably works for the American government. Why are you doing it?
See, and I was certainly waiting for the double cross there, and was somewhat stunned that it never happened.
Instead, they just take the thing to the obvious trap.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why did they have it on them at the time?
Have the thing. Have the MacGuffin. Here, kill some of my men whilst you're at it. And now, have the MacGuffin.
Jason Statham's character,
Who?
Deckard Shaw, forgetting that the enemy of my enemy is not my friend. It is just my enemy's enemy.
Yes. Yes.
The drone is called the Predator. Not sure why. Doesn't really have the mandibles for it.
But boy, does it have some ammunition. Oh, I've mentioned that.
Yeah. Deckard and Dom are on the top of the parking garage, and boys, this is the third time you've played Automotive Chicken in this film. Once in a tunnel.
Yeah.
Once on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
And here, what are we doing here?
I must admit that I was kind of impressed that the throwback of being able to do the whole front lift was used there. But I do certainly seem to recall that vehicle didn't exist anymore.
Yeah, rebuilt it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is a car junkie. He rebuilds things.
We have the technology.
He rebuilds specifically that thing.
I'm sure it'll come in handy sometime.
I think after this, if he rebuilds it again, that'll be the third time that he's rebuilt this one car.
Now I'm just trying to recall in what state it currently is in. It got crushed.
It probably crushed by the whole parking garage.
Parking garage, yes,
Yeah.
because he was somewhat roughed up by that. Not by the infinite punches and bashes with iron bars and things like that, but no. It took a car park to take him out.
Yeah.
Briefly. Do you have any more notes?
2 mile range is very arbitrary.
I keep telling you, it's the equivalent of cutting the orange wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bus, I think Daniel was whistling Self-Preservation Society, and I gotta admit, I was thinking it just before.
Yeah, exactly. We knew exactly where that bus was heading.
Yeah.
And I seem to recall me saying when the driver finally gets shot, I'm thinking, about time.
Ah, dear.
Otherwise, he would just keep driving forever until he reached the coast, and he would just keep driving through the ocean and then would re-emerge on the other side of the ocean. Yeah. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until next time.
Yeah. Come back in 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Yeah.
For whatever is coming in The Fate of the Furious, which I guess is a pun.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah.
It took me a while to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What we have left is The Fate of the Furious, the one Detour spin-off film, F9, that's F9,
F9.
and Fast X.
Fast X, right.
And then whatever part 2 of Fast X is, whenever that comes out.
Oh, that's a 2-parter, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's...
Oh.
But when that second part is actually going to come... Oh, 2027, they're saying now. So you'll have plenty of time to forget everything.
They're going to be racing around in their wheelchairs. Yeah. Anyway.
It's supposed to be the last film.
They are getting old. Yes. All right, let's move on.
The following segment has no title. Thank you.
Okay, we will start over on Discord with Entuosferatu,
Hi, Entuosferatu.
who says The Rock was one of the earliest DVDs we owned, along with The Matrix, with a terrible audio mix where you can't hear the dialogue.
Just as an aside, The Matrix was the very first DVD I purchased. And I don't recall the audio being particularly bad, but I do recall that there were a lot of dark sections in that film, and it looked really glitchy in those dark patches. The gradient between, it was all blocky.
I mean, in fairness, Mr. Smith is a bit of a mumbler.
Yes, Mr. Smith, we've been expecting you.
Regarding your new podcast, Shoe Talk, I finally replaced my ratty walking shoes, and despite going from a pair of New Balance runners to Adidas? I think it's Adidas.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah.
It's either Adidas or Adidas. I grew up with Adidas, but I know the Americans like to say Adidas.
I have somehow according to my wife, slipped even more into some certified middle-aged dad shoes, which, given my age and familial status, is, I suppose, appropriate, or at least inevitable.
Yes.
And in regards to our rainbow shortcake confusion last week, I definitely meant Rainbow Bright.
Yeah.
Wisp, Rainbow Bright, is a young girl who gets isekai'd into a dark and grey world and told to bring colour to it. Wisp is renamed Rainbow Bright, and with the help of Starlight the Talking Horse and several colour-coordinated colour kids, fights to save the creatively titled Rainbow Land from the tyranny of some number of colour-hating villains. Based on a Hallmark Cards franchise, Geek and TMS Entertainment made 13 episodes and a movie in the mid-80s. Then Hallmark made 3 13-minute episodes for their streaming service in 2014. A CGI series and film were announced in 2024 to be produced by Hallmark, Crayola Studios, and wouldn't you know it, our old friends, original film.
See, I do recognise Rainbow Bright, but I don't recall ever sitting through an episode. So, yeah.
Over on Facebook, Helen
Hi, Helen.
says, "Grr, Facebook just lost my comment even though I'd copied it. I think I rambled about the following," and then there are 7 dot points.
We don't have time, so we're going to have to pick one randomly. No.
Bizarre how the plot synopsis for The Rock fails to mention Alcatraz but gives you the full specs of the weapons. I'm assuming that there was a kidnapping that allowed the characters to get to various places really quickly, as per our Furious 6 episode.
Yep.
There was a 20-metre stretch of Lindisfarne foreshore tonight where I could be heard muttering, "It's definitely Wallace Shawn." The Princess Bride is 38 years old. Where has my life gone?
See, I told you in the writer's room that focus group research strongly suggested that the whole Wallace Shawn / Shawn Wallace routine would land well.
Yes. Routine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a cunning plan.
We'll go with that story.
Yeah.
I now have more movies added to my won't bother watching list.
Just as an aside, you can put Furious 7 on that. Yeah.
Congratulations to Nosferatu for winning the arbitrary point in a landslide.
It was just out of the ballpark.
Caitlin, on Spotify,
Hi, Caitlin.
says, "Hey, if you haven't already watched it, either Hocus Pocus 1 or 2. Fun fact about Hocus Pocus 2, it was filmed at a farm near my house, so every time I passed by, I saw the opening set."
Well, unfortunately, I have actually selected what we are going to be watching for our Halloween episode. Looking back at a previous episode, was it last one where we were talking about buddies?
Yeah.
There's Disney's Spooky Buddies.
Yeah.
The plot synopsis of which is the puppies go on a spooky adventure through a mysterious haunted mansion in this fur-raising flick. Oh, hang on. That's a spoiler for the next segment. I'm going to have to pick something else now.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Which will take us up to the guesses.
It will.
Going in the order that I saw them. Nosferatu said, for this week, The Rock, 7 characters,
TheRock.
seems plausible. And it does seem plausible.
It does seem plausible.
Helen says, I checked episode 17 for the file name competition rules. They weren't there. I did, however, find them in episode 16, 20, 23, and on display in the bottom of a locked filing cabinet stuck in disused lavatory with a sign on the door saying, Beware of the leopard.
Yes.
You know, we live to serve.
Yeah. You are talking about the audio only episode 17?
Right.
Yes, it was in the video podcast of episode 17. It was
right up on the wall behind us.
Yeah.
Just for that episode.
Written in crayon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have, however, forgotten what they were again, and so I'm going with the _rock.
Well, underscore is a possibility.
Yeah, to remind our dear listeners now what the rules are, a week after they would have been useful.
They would have been.
The rules are simple. Capital letters, numerals, or underscores. Up to, but not necessarily, 8 of those characters.
Yep. What did we go for?
Well, as may have been implied by me saying that you should remember the rules of file names last week, it did include an underscore, and it was in fact the underscore that Helen provided.
It was indeed. Now, if you'd watched the video version, the unedited video version of last week's, there was a whole segment where I was somewhat more liberal in my assistance.
Did a whole retake.
Yeah, going to toy with, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy. But no, I did edit it. So yeah. Helen has won the arbitrary point for this week.
Congratulations.
Well done.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
I suspect your sneaking suspicion is sneakily correct.
And I'm typing it in now without looking. And I have in fact typed in what you have over there.
I will give you a hint. I did not use an underscore.
No, I wouldn't expect one to fit.
No. So, the file name for this episode, which was for the movie
Furious 7.
Unless you go by the title at the beginning of the film, which was Fast and Furious 7.
But that's okay, because, well, no, it's not okay, because you can't have an ampersand.
No.
We don't have ampersands.
No.
I don't know if it would even work in a file name if those restrictions weren't in place.
I don't know. Anyway, please send in your guesses as to which file name I have created for this week's recording, and send them in via the usual channels that can be found in the show notes and in the closing credits and various other places that you'll probably stumble upon. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And film suggestions. We have noted Caitlin's film suggestions.
Any sort of commentary on what we've discussed today?
Yep.
Do let us know in all the usual places.
You said do.
No, you can have an ampersand in a Windows file name. You just can't have an asterisk or a question mark or a pipe or a backslash or a forward slash or a double quote or a colon or a less than or a greater than.
What, I'm not allowed to have one?
No.
No. Okay then. Anyway, I think we'll move on.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
And as previously foreshadowed, it is your turn.
It is my turn, and I'm just trying to find a plot synopsis of the film that I have selected for what I thought was the Halloween special, except that I miscounted. But it's going to be the Halloween special anyway. Yeah.
I have something that's...
You have plans.
It's almost there. It's almost there.
Okay.
Under the assumption that it's still up, and I'm led to believe that it is still up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, but we will find out next week.
We will.
However, next week, this is the film that we are going to be watching. I'm going to start reading the plot synopsis. Please buzz in when you believe that you know what it is. Life for former United Nations investigator Jerry Lane and his family seem content. Suddenly, the world is plagued by a mysterious infection, turning whole human populations into rampaging, mindless zombies. Yes?
Is this World War Z?
No, it's World War Z.
Ah, yeah. Should have known. It's set in America. Why would it be Z?
You have guessed correctly, but I've started, so I shall finish. After barely escaping the chaos, Lane is persuaded to go on a mission to investigate this disease. What follows is a perilous trek around the world where Lane must brave horrific dangers and long odds to find answers before human civilization fails. We are watching a zombie movie for Halloween. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
it sort of more falls, you know, all the excuses that I gave for horror movies?
Yeah.
It falls more into the adventure, sci-fi category. But there's still zombies that can run.
Something weird is happening as opposed to something genuinely unimaginable is happening.
Yeah. Yep.
Or a guy in a mask is over there menacingly.
That is next week. World War Z, or World War Z, depending on where you were born. We hope you can join us. But until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
You know, you say World War Z and you might get confused with World War C. And really, we don't need to bring Cookie Monster into it.
We do anything for brains. Where's the stop button? I think that would be a wise place to stop.